Hi, so this is my review of Catching Fire, the second book in the Hunger Games trilogy. So I went into this novel hoping that some of the issues I'd had with the first novel would be at least rectified or addressed in this one. And for the first third of the novel it seemed like that might be the case, but then the plot twist hit and I was still pretty pissed off for the rest of the book. But anyway, basic plot is that we've got Katniss and Peeta touring the districts of Panem in the wake of their victory in the Hunger Games, and because they did their little suicide berry act, and they claimed it was, for their true love towards one another and not wanting to live without the other one, and etc. But the capital perceived it as an act of rebellion and kind of showing them up and whatnot. So while they're touring the districts, they're beginning to sense that there's, this feeling of uneasiness within some of the communities, and they're hearing rumours of potential uprisings and stuff. And they're seeing that there's the capital's police within each district, security's getting amped up and things becoming much more serious and grim. And also back home in District 12, where they've both got new houses and lots of money and whatnot, things are, especially in District 12, the security's really getting much more serious and much more violent in particular. Katniss is also getting to spend a little bit more time with Gale, so we see that relationship fleshed out a tiny bit more. Gale for me is still very much a background character, so I take the shipping wars between Team Peeta and Team Gale. It doesn't seem like a serious thing to me because they're, it's very uneven in terms of how much page time each character's given. But Gale has gone and kissed Katniss at one point and kind of professed how he feels towards her. She's such a popular lady, isn't she? And meanwhile Peeta's still very much in love with her for whatever reason. And Katniss is a bit unsure, but she's strongly suspecting she might have feelings for Gale, and everyone's trying to weigh in their opinion on those arguments, and I'm just thinking, Katniss, you need to be able to just make up your own mind, not feel responsible for either guy, and not feel like you owe them, your affection or your loyalty, and because she hates owing people, and I just feel like she's very much trapped at the moment. And so yeah, the touring, President Snow's turned up, and he's this sadistic, crazy, weird-ass man who's making direct threats now on Katniss's family and on Gale, and so now she's feeling like she really needs to play up her romance with Peeta in order to quell down the idea that they've started this rebellion unwittingly, and all these things, and it's getting very serious. And I was quite intrigued, and I was enjoying the first third of the novel. There was lots of potential drama there, and I was quite hooked. And then the big revelation happens almost midway through the book, and it's revealed that the next Hunger Games, which have arrived really quickly, I thought Katniss mentions it's only been 9 months. Shouldn't there be a full year between each games? I don't know. Anyway, the next Hunger Games fall on the Quarter Quell, they call it. Every 25 years, the Capitol and the game makers make the Hunger Games that much worse, just to, really hammer home the message of don't rebel and don't screw with us. And this year they're making it worse by having past victors go back into the arena and fight one another. And many of the past victors are all friends and know one another very well. And of course, that means Peeta and Katniss are going back in the arena, and I was so pissed off and so mad and so, I didn't want to be going back in there. This wasn't exciting for me. I wasn't in the least bit. I just wanted to put the book down. I felt like I couldn't stomach another experience in that arena. It's going to be awful. And yeah, thankfully Katniss and Peeta felt the same way. But they both have agendas. They both want to save one another for different reasons. Peeta, of course, wants to just save Katniss's life because he's madly in love with her. I'm not questioning his affection necessarily. I think on one hand it's very endearing. It's also very bittersweet and sad and depressing as well. I can't quite fathom why he has so much affection for her, really. Although I know you're not meant to necessarily justify love. It doesn't necessarily have a rhyme or reason. It's just how you feel. But I don't know. And also the fact that she has not knowingly, but she has betrayed him in the past and really hurt his feelings, but he still has such strong love for her. I don't know. I have affection towards Peeta, but I'm also just a bit baffled by him sometimes. So yeah, we're back in the arena, and it's very depressing. On one hand, it's interesting because we have past victors in there, which means that the skill level is higher, so it's, you know, in some instances more difficult for people to die and to kill one another, which is a good thing because I don't like death, but it also means there's more battles, which is, you know, and people are more skilled at how to kill, which is awful. It also means that because people are friends, it's that much more difficult when deaths do occur, and, you know, you have to split and allegiances are shattered and stuff, so that was much more emotionally trying, and I still had a few moments of getting teary in this book. Supporting characters, we meet quite a few new people. One character I really liked was Finnick, who is a young victor, a recent victor of the games, and he's very good looking and narcissistic and arrogant, but he's very charismatic too, and he's shown to have a lot more depth than is first revealed, and he has some strong allegiances that are quite endearing and heartwarming. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I grew to really like him, and then there's a big kind of shock ending, and you get the sense that there's a lot of momentum being built up towards the final book. It did, for the most part, kind of feel a bit like filler, which second novels often suffer from that. But I mean, I was enjoying things towards the start, so when the games had to go and happen again, I was really pissed off. And it was a shame to be moving away from, you know, direct contact with the rebellions and what could have been going on there, and to have to go back into this very enclosed world of the arena where, you know, everything is just self-contained, so that was a shame to move away from that. I don't have teams, Peeta, Gale, really. I need Katniss to be able to make up her own mind. I'm glad that Katniss is beginning to be a bit more, I don't know, she feels like she has more of a conscience this time. That's probably a harsh thing to say, but, and I am curious to see where things go. I mean, overall, my reading experience this time wasn't any less or any more than I had with the first novel, so probably give it 3.5 stars out of 5. So, The Catching Fire.